Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. Happy Tuesday, I think it is. I'm losing track of my days already. I'm an immigration attorney. If you're joining me for the first time, I come on live to answer immigration questions. So feel free to put into the chat your immigration questions. If you're joining me for the first time, feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to know a little bit about where you guys are located, where you're watching from. So I am here in Arlington, Virginia. I am based outside of Washington, D.C. It's called Arlington, Virginia. Hi, Suresh. Um, and we practice only U.S. immigration law, right? Suresh is from California. It's nice and sunny out there. I hope it's freezing here in the Washington, D.C. area today, just so you know. But anyway, our firm practices only U.S. immigration law. We don't practice anything outside of U.S. immigration law. But I come on here live to be able to answer your questions. So no matter where you are located, Jagruti is in South Carolina. Hi, nice to see you. And no matter where you are located, we can help you with your immigration case. So we practice pretty much everything under the immigration umbrella, everything from humanitarian cases for victims of abuse, victims of crime. We help them get green cards and status in the U.S. to employment-based applications or people that have invested in the U.S. economy and they've created a certain number of jobs, they're eligible for a green card also. So we kind of run the gamut in terms of the types of cases we handle and the people that we are able to help. But the one thing to remember is we only practice immigration law. We do not practice anything other than U.S. immigration law. Okay, so if you're just joining, if you're just coming on, say hi. And if you think that you know people that might have immigration questions, please feel free to share this post with them. Make sure you like our page, follow our page if you don't already, just so you get notified every time I go live so you can join us and ask your questions if anything comes up. And it's also a good opportunity to just learn about immigration law. Excuse me, to just learn about immigration law as well. Okay. So make sure you like us, follow us. We're at Agarwal Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. So that's AGARWAL Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. So I'm going to start off with my question of the day. I'm only going to be on for a few minutes today. So make sure you get your questions in if you have any. So I'm going to start off with our question of the day, which is, do I qualify for VAWA if I was not physically abused, right? Do I qualify for VAWA if I was not physically abused? As an overview, a VAWA application is a green card application for people who are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders, or their children, or their parents of a child who's 21 or over who's a U.S. citizen. Children can qualify also, but our most common case type is for people who are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders, and they entered illegally, they had status and it expired, or whatnot, and they're being abused by their spouse, right? And this whole definition of abuse is interesting for people to learn about. So many people believe that you have to have physical abuse to qualify for VAWA. This is a green card application, right? Once you file for that green card, you also file for work authorization and travel authorization. We also file for work authorization and travel authorization if you're eligible. And you get work authorization about 6 to 8 months, travel authorization in that same time frame. But the big question is, do I have to be physically abused to qualify for VAWA? So our answer to that is no, right? No. So the abuse for VAWA can be very broad, and it can be a lot of different types of abuse, and I'll give you some examples right now. Of course, if there's physical abuse, it helps you to qualify. But here are the other types of abuse that might help you qualify. So some of our clients, we see a lot of threatening behavior from the U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse, right? So threatening behavior is, if you don't do this, I'm going to report you to immigration. If you don't do this, you're going to be sorry, things of that nature. Putting you down, calling you names, right? So let's say you're completely out of status and your spouse is a green card holder or U.S. citizen, and they're not willing to help you in this application. And they're verbally abusing you. They're calling you names. They're putting you down. They're putting down the country that you come from. They could be making fun of your accent, telling you how not American you are, right? So all of these are different forms of abuse that can help you qualify for a green card, right? And this green card, it's important that you know, is done 100% on your own without the help of your spouse, right? You don't need your spouse to consent. You do it on your own with us. Of course, we'll help you to do that. But it's an application, it's an independent application that helps you to get a work permit in the processing times that it takes for your green card, and then ultimately a green card, and you do not need the consent of your spouse. And there's different types of abuse that can help you qualify for this green card. Okay, so if we can help you with that, call us. We're at 703-348-1663. Okay, we're doing our consultations by phone, by Zoom, and in person if anyone wants to visit us in person, right? We're located outside of Washington, D.C. Best way to get a consultation is to call our office at 703-348-1663. All right. Then I go through, we have some folks from California, from South Carolina. This is actually really great that we're having people join us from all different parts of the country because immigration is considered a federal practice, so our clients are all throughout the country. We do not need to only represent clients in the states where we're barred. It's a federal practice, so we can represent you no matter where in the U.S. or outside the U.S. you are located. All right. Someone says, amazing live. Absolutely. Thank you. All right, great. So I have a couple of other questions. I think we have a few more folks joining. Welcome. Say hello. Yeah, someone is saying spice up your office decor a bit. Yes, I do need to do that. It's on my list for this year. It's really kind of sad. But yeah, mostly all work and no play up here in the office. But yes, we do need to spice it up. Thank you for the tip. All right, great. So the next question that I want to bring up is, do I have to do an interview for my VAWA application, right? Do I have to do an interview for a VAWA application? Again, this is for people that are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders that are filing an application on their own without the help of their spouse. So the question often comes up, do I have to do an interview? So if you're applying for a green card along with your VAWA application, most people are, you will have an interview. You will have a green card interview. So our firm, what we do is we get you ready for that interview. We do practice, and we also come with you to that interview. Okay, that's what we do at our firm. The interview, the important thing to note is you will not be asked questions about the abuse because your VAWA portion, the abuse portion, has already been approved at the time of the green card interview. So what they're asking you are things like, how long have you been in the U.S. without status? Did you work without authorization? Excuse me, things of that nature. And many people have been in the U.S. for a long time without status, and many people have worked without authorization, and it does not preclude them from getting this type of green card. All right, if we can help you, give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. Sorry, Paula is saying, after your nice office tip, she's asking, or he's asking, attorney, what are the chances of the green card limit per country going to be lifted? I feel like, I don't, it's just my guess. I feel like it's strong. I do feel like the chances are strong, but I'm staying positive because it feels very unfair that we have so many people, especially from India. Shout out to those of you from India. And the wait time is so long for people from India. So I do feel like Indians and immigrants just generally contribute so much to the U.S. economy, to the culture here, that I do feel like we are in that process, especially with our shortage of employees. I don't know, though. I'm staying positive. Obviously, I don't have any inside information on that, but I will definitely keep you posted. Okay. I hope that is helpful. All right. I'm going to go do one last question. Sorry, Paul says, thank you. You're welcome. I'm going to do one last question. And it's going to be this. So can my VAWA application be denied, right? So a lot of people are asking, can my VAWA application be denied? let me tell you the most common reasons for a VAWA application denial. This is one of the most common reasons. Not submitting the right evidence in the beginning, clerical errors, errors in dates, misspellings of names. So if you do a VAWA application, I would highly recommend that you use an attorney, right? Again, these are applications for people who are married to US citizens or green card holders, and they're victims of abuse. They've been married for a certain amount of time. So, and they've lived with their spouse. That's another thing we like to look for, right? Not submitting the right kind of evidence or having typos in your application, that is going to be one of the most common reasons for denial. So what I'm going to tell you is if you plan to do one, I would highly recommend using an attorney, because these applications already take such a long time to be approved. The processing times for a really well-filed application is already very long. So if you can afford it, use an attorney so we can prepare the best application for you. Make sure there are no errors. In our firm, we have a large team. We have a team of 7 folks, and they're all working on your immigration application. Okay? All right. I guess I'll take one last question. What happened to the renewal work permit? Why are they taking a long time? I can't tell you. They're experiencing some huge processing delays, right? So they're experiencing these huge processing delays, and I'm so sorry that it is taking such a long time. Sometimes we're getting green cards approved even before the work permit is approved. So sometimes we're getting green cards approved even before the work permit is approved. There's huge processing delays. But what I can tell you is that a lot of applications qualify for an automatic 180-day extension. So if you file for your work permit extension or the renewal, while your current one is still pending, if you do it within 6 months before your first one has expired, you may be eligible for an automatic extension. So just by the filing of it, you may be able to extend for another 180 days. All right. Nidhi is asking, if my son turns 21 and he applies for my green card, how long will it take? So it depends on the type of application that we're doing. So if, let's say, you had a legal entry and your son is a US citizen and he's 21, it could be about a year to a year and a half. But let's say you had an illegal entry, right? And you qualify on another basis, like a self-petition, then it might take a little bit longer, but you would still receive a work permit, hopefully in about 6 to 8 months. If we can help you, call us 703-348-1663. You have a legal entry, great. So when your son turns 21, call us. We can definitely help simplify that. All right, simple. Sam Patel is asking, how do I apply for a green card? There are many ways to qualify for a green card, right? There are many ways to qualify for a green card. One is employment-based, one is family-based, and then the other is humanitarian options. So many people are unfamiliar with humanitarian options. So if you're a victim of crime, if you've been exploited at work, meaning you've been underpaid, not paid overtime, mistreated, then you may be able to qualify for humanitarian options that lead to authorization to be in the US and then ultimately a green card. All right. I do not know the individual hearing schedule for New York City Asylum offhand. You can probably check, go ahead and check the court calendar and you'll be able to see that. All right. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. If you don't already like our page, make sure you like our page. Follow us on TikTok at Agarwal Immigration. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration lawyer. I help clients all throughout the United States, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. Join me again tomorrow when I'm back on live to answer your questions. All right, talk to you soon. Thank you for joining me. Have a great evening. Bye, everybody.